Hi, I'm Laurie Keating. This is the recorded lesson that accompanies Module 1. This presentation is not a substitute for the module notes, but it's intended to complement them. In this module, we look at technology standards for students, strategies for integrating technology, and examples of what you might use in your classroom. When you see that audio is recorded, be sure to play it. This is a comment on active learning by John Dewey from more than 100 years ago. The videos on the next slides talk about integrating technology into ESL classes at different levels. Think about what you might apply in your classroom. This first one is from an elementary school.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Garbish.
And I'm Nicole Thompson.
And we teach ESL at Nevlin Elementary School. We have been using a lot of technology in the classroom to help our ESL students. One example is when we use something called ThingLink, where the students make an interactive poster where they put in links and videos and different writings that they find on the internet.
And another one is Adobe Voice, where they are able to take what they've learned in a unit and put it into a video.
This is an orange. The orange seed takes 15 minutes to germinate. The seed grows up to an orange tree. Farmers pick up oranges. The oranges go in trucks to the grocery store. The oranges are sold in the stores and people buy them. People can make orange juice. That is how an orange goes from a seed to your table by Hannah and Francisco.
And they hit all the domains of ESL, which is listening, speaking, writing, and reading. And so they can do that all in this one app.
Another way that we have used or plan to use technology is that we are going to take the third grade students that are learning about the solar system, and we're going to take them outside and use the iPads to view the solar system and the different galaxies. So they'll hold the iPad up and be able to see all of that.
One of the other apps we've been using is Poplet, and that's great for coming to the end of units because they're able to make a semantic bubble or graph and bring everything they've learned together and put it into one instead of just writing it down with paper and pencil.
And it's highly visual because they can use the internet to put in the pictures and review everything they've learned, right?
Yeah. This year our students seem a lot more engaged. They're just so excited to come to class, research. They don't think the iPads are just for games. They're ready to get to work and have a great time.
We have found that when we use technology, it's highly authentic for the students, and the students seem to really connect with those real-world examples.
This video is about using technology in high school English language learning classes.
Education technology is not only providing important tools to make teaching more effective, but it's also an expectation of the students. Key skills for instructors include the ability to facilitate learning in cyberspace by being able to utilize digital repositories and web resources in preparing quality educational materials that aid teaching. Being a university with a vision, we're able to catch this trend, putting effort on integrating teaching materials with various mobile devices and online platforms to enhance teaching and learning. In my case, I created a blended learning environment tailor-made to support local Hong Kong students to learn English both inside and outside of the classroom. Using public speaking class as an example, in addition to asking all the students in the class to provide instant feedback to each speech through Twitter, the speech is also videotaped and uploaded onto a private YouTube channel, in which each presenter must first review and provide a self-evaluation in front of the entire class in another short mini presentation, commenting both on the presentation skill sets and making their own recommendations for improvement. Students not only learn more efficiently and effectively by doing so, they also learn from their own mistakes, what I call self-awareness. In addition, students can revisit the lecture by watching lecture capture after the class if they need. As students have different abilities and strength, they have their own pace in learning. This tool is especially useful for students who cannot catch up in class and are willing to put more effort during their leisure time. Apart from that, we have adapted different technologies into teaching. The presentation of traditional books are limited by visuals such as text and pictures. However, ebooks are able to break through this limit. We are using tailor-made ebooks for 3 English language core courses. Besides integrating all multimedia, we also created a range of widgets to allow students to highlight, annotate, and make notes within the ebook itself, or even draw out ideas on a mind map via the interactive digital whiteboard. By providing students with everything they need, the instructor achieves greater flexibility in delivering course materials. With these ebooks, classes are flipped. Readings and comprehension exercises are completed by the students on their own time, which in turn results in classes that are more engaging and communicative, since they focus more on demonstration and communication, productive skills, to ensure understanding. We hope students can extend their learning experiences from the classroom to their daily life through independent study. We have developed online English enhancement videos on YouTube for students to learn different aspects of English, such as grammar and slangs, and problems which they often come across in daily English. Some of the videos were created specifically to support course materials and help students improve their understanding and comprehension. In addition, students can also practice their English on online learning materials repository, which was developed from an inter-institutional collaborative online self-access project called ICOSA. Again, some of the exercises there have been incorporated into the course curriculum. Students are required to complete these exercises in Moodle as part of their assessment. Technology has changed the educational landscape forever. It's important that we as educators take a look at how we can utilize this technology, identify which aspects will improve our teaching and thus enhance the student learning experience.
Now let's take a look at differentiated instruction and personalized learning. These terms are often used interchangeably, though there are distinct differences that you should know. Both are good strategies for motivating and engaging students in English language learning. Differentiated instruction is an intervention by a teacher or instructional coach to vary some aspect of information being presented to better meet the needs of the student. It can be broken down into 4 categories based on how the intervention takes place. Differentiation by content refers to what is being taught, maybe different levels of arithmetic or math, maybe books of varying levels of difficulty. Differentiating by process refers to how students are taught. While the teacher conducts a lesson with most students, some might be working in a small group with an aide or coach. Differentiating by product enables children to submit work with different levels of difficulty or different formats. For example, some students might have fewer options in multiple choice. Some might do fewer questions. Others might have to respond to an essay question, while others may be allowed to submit a poster. Differentiation by learning environment involves meeting the needs of students for how they learn best. I was in a first grade classroom recently during silent reading time. Some students sat at their desks reading independently. Some sat in clusters with one student reading to another. Some students lay on the rug on the floor, while others sat in cubbies that the teacher had fashioned under the counter with pillows and boundaries. Each child has a designated spot based on his or her needs. On the next slides, we'll look at some tools that can be used for each category. This is News ELA. News ELA is a good example of differentiating by content. The teacher can assign articles at different levels to different students on the same topic. So while all students are reading about volcanoes, the text for higher level students is much more complicated than the text for lower level readers or English language learners. Having read similar content, though, each child can go on to the next step and work on the same project or participate in the discussion. Prodigy is a math tool that differentiates by content. Beginning with diagnostic assessment, it presents math instruction and assessment of increasing difficulty with rewards in the form of math games. When students respond with a wrong answer, the tool provides feedback about why that response is incorrect and shows how to do it correctly. Some teachers differentiate by product. They may be assigning a project on something like a history project, and students have a choice whether to submit a written essay or perhaps stand up and give an oral presentation, or maybe create a poster or a video. In this classroom, students are receiving instruction in different formats. This is differentiating by process. You can see that some students are sitting at tables in the middle of the room, working independently. Other students are sitting at a table at the side, working with an aide, while still other students are sitting at the computers. In this classroom, the teacher is differentiating by learning environment. You see some students working on the floor on individual projects. Other students are sitting at the desk. Now we're going to talk about personalized learning. Personalized learning is characterized by three factors: voice, choice, and agency. In contrast to differentiated instruction, which is teacher-centric, personalized learning relies on the learner to participate in setting and achieving learning goals, so it is student-centered. Voice is the student's participation in setting goals. Choice is the student's selection of how they learn best, and agency is the student's motivation and initiative in making their learning experience successful. Note that each of these factors exists on a continuum. Nobody starts at the top, everyone works up from the bottom. Rather than thinking that this will never work, think instead of what might happen if students and teachers embrace the first step of the continuum and commit to growth. This is the continuum of choice. And this is the continuum of engagement. This chart compares and contrasts aspects of personalization, differentiation, and individualization. You'll find the full chart in your module notes. And this is the pedagogy wheel. This is a takeoff from Bloom's taxonomy, and it's sometimes called Bloom's digital taxonomy, and the offshoot is the pedagogy wheel. Beginning at the center of the wheel, you see Bloom's hierarchy from remembering, understanding, apply, analyze, and evaluate. The next level out has action verbs that describe what learning might look like at this level. In the remembering and understanding, you might have to summarize, or paraphrase, or describe, or identify. Moving another level out, you find the types of activities that you might do at this level. So again, if we're focusing on remembering, maybe you are bulleting items or recognizing something. Different activities that you might do. Moving around here to creating, activities might be animating or storytelling. Another level out, you find iPad apps that would give you this type of activity for this type of learning. So perhaps annotate, or Twitter if you want to push something out and share something. Explain Everything is an app that lets you show how you did something. It's a great app for showing your work. But you see a lot of them here. And then on the outside, you see the SAMR model, which we'll be talking about. Substitution is the simplest form, where you're just substituting the technology for a functional change. And again, these are at the lower levels of Bloom's taxonomy. Augmentation is when you're substituting with some functional improvement. So there's something that's a little bit more involved. Modification is when there's a significant task redesign. So instead of remembering and understanding or applying, you're evaluating. Students are using their head and their cognitive abilities to take the action to a new level. And then finally, at the highest level, we have redefinition, which corresponds to creating. This is creating new tasks that were previously inconceivable without the technology. For your assignment for this module, I have provided a list of apps, and you're going to choose an app from the list and put your name next to it. This way, there will be one person for each app. Try to choose something that you haven't used before. Then you'll be able to download the app or get it from your iPad or wherever and explore the features and navigation tools. You need to use this and provide evidence that you used this in order to complete the assignment. So there's an assignment sheet that goes along with it that also has this bulleted list of topics. These would be the headings that you use. And I'm asking you to provide it in a Word document. Doesn't matter to me how you create it, whether you use Google Docs or whatever, but you can export or download whatever you're creating to a Word document so that I can comment in it. I cannot comment in a PDF, and I will not comment in your Google Docs or your pages because those aren't compatible. So put it in a Word doc. And that's it. If you have comments or questions, feel free to email me. There's a place on the discussion board where you can post questions also, and I will get back as soon as possible.